Welcome back, everybody, to The Creative Moment, Season 11, Episode 3. We're back. Jamie Bullhauer, the writer, poet, Dante Bullhauer, the digital media dude, basically.
Just got his cool own jersey with one of your part-time gigs.
And now I have another jersey to add. I should have worn that, but oh well. Next time. But yeah, we are still chugging along through Season 11 here, so let's go ahead and get right into it. Might have been our best one yet. Okay, today we are talking about kind of the concept of progress. And when I kind of brought it up, talking about how linear progression is really not a thing, especially in the creative industry, in most industries, but definitely holds true in the creative industry.
But even in learning skills and stuff, there's a graph. It shows you get
the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Dunning-Kruger effect. You know, I mean, just like, it's not linear.
Yeah, so we're going to kind of just go over some just kind of thoughts we have about progression in just kind of the creative space and just kind of just riff. That's what we do most of the time. So, the reason this thought came into my head a couple weeks ago was because I was thinking about how can I grow the business that I'm running without like what does it look like? I'm kind of at a point where
in 5 years, what does this look like?
Doing what does progress look like? Are there like goals along the way to my big goal of end of year? I want to make this, or I want to do a contract. Like, what are those progression steps and those progression goals along the way towards those bigger goals? And I was thinking about how I was so caught up on I don't want to make any mistakes or get in with the wrong clients, or because I've had in the creative industry a lot of clients just kind of come and go. Some stick around, but it's a lot of, hey, we tried this out, didn't work for whatever reason, we're not doing it anymore. Like a lot of that stuff. Yeah. And that got to me just kind of thinking that does not mean that I'm taking steps back because I'm losing contracts or not renewing contracts or whatever. The growth and the progress that I'm trying to make, one is I kind of came to the conclusion, I'm still casting a super wide net. I'm not niching down really at all.
Yeah. And that has its effects.
And so I kind of looked at it. I'm still casting a wide net. I'm still okay with that because the progress within just kind of couple more hype videos, less this, or a couple more corporate shoots, less hype videos type of thing is with that wide net, I'm still finding stuff that I'm doing for the first time. And if I'm still finding stuff that I'm doing for the first time that I like, don't like, whatever, I just will try them out. And then when I feel like, okay, I've done pretty much everything that I can conceive of wanting to do in the creative industry, then I can start niching down. Okay, here's the bread and butter, here's what I really enjoy doing, and here's what I want to do, not do it all or do less of. And so I feel like if I'm still at the point where I'm doing different things, I want to at least try those, and that in itself is progress, learning what I do and don't like just down the road, so that when I want to really focus down on travel stuff or hype videos or whatever, then I can just have the knowledge and not have a regret. Oh, I wish I would have tried more corporate stuff or whatever. Well, that was kind of my thought.
And so I was just saying, Gary Vee, besides his cussing, but anyway, he says to people at your age is fail or try everything. You've got the one gift. In my case, I don't quite have as much, is time. Your world's not going to end if you end up not getting any more corporate jobs, even though Toro seems to like. But it is an interesting. It's one of those at this point because as you were talking, I was just thinking I really love writing poetry. I mean that's but I also blog. I am working on a short story right now that I had an idea with that, and I've been doing some editing on my next book, but I've got this wide thing too, and but I sat and as you were talking though, I was like, am I am I progressing well in any of the areas? That idea of jack of all trades but an expert in none type of thing. Like, oh, I'm just good enough in this, but I was like, I don't know.
And I definitely feel that same thing. I feel like I progress very slowly because of my 3 things: graphic design, video, photo. If I leaned into photo a lot more, I feel like I'd start progressing faster or more heavily. But instead, it's just kind of, oh, I learned a video trick here. Oh, I learned a photo trick. Oh, I learned a graphic design method. And it doesn't feel like I'm getting any better at anything because like the progress is not tangible. And it's like, sometimes it, like when I say progress is ugly, whatever, sometimes it's just like, wow, that did not work at all. And like, I need to figure out something else to do with it. And that just not being able to see the progress is also part of the reason I think it's like, it doesn't look like progress when I'm taking on all these different jobs, because it's like, I don't have time to hone in my hype video, whatever new things I would want to do, because I'm doing other stuff with YMCA photos or lawnmower stuff. And it, like, the progress doesn't feel like I'm making any. But then again, like I talked about, you look back a year from now, you never would have guessed that you'd be able to incorporate this into your writing or your photography or whatever. So not being able to see the progress is it's hard.
Yes.
Because it feels like you're just stuck in the mud.
Yeah, it is. And we only, we said it before, but every day we have 24 hours. Every single person. And sometimes it does feel like the people who are super focused on this, like this thing per se, seem to be more successful or to jump or... But I don't know. I don't know if I would change the overall philosophy of doing. And when we do this podcast too, like you throw in that creative component. But I don't. If you said, okay, you can never write short stories again, I could maybe live. I mean, I could maybe live with that to a degree. But then, why do I have the idea? Why do I have the drive, the things, and the progression of writing a novel like takes forever. It feels like it, and it is taking forever because I do this and then I do that, and but I don't know if I would actually change that approach.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like when I made the Gish documentary. It felt like no progress was being made at any point, even just throughout the year of just filming. I'm like, it feels like I don't have enough stuff. And then I go do one round of interviews, start working on it, and then I have to go do another round. So like the shooting versus editing felt like I wasn't making like significant progress in either side because the interviews were so spread out, and then the editing, just a whole mess with that. But it is just an interesting thought, because the same way I wouldn't, if you told me I could never do another graphic, I'd be like, really like graphic design, like, or no more, like, I'd be fine never doing a wedding again. But
okay,
that's like pure.
But you know that because you did it.
Yeah.
Like
and actually dove into it. Like I did.
Yeah, you did
10 weddings. That was my highest year, which is like one every 5 weeks, like once a month almost. And that's another thing when you talk about the progress, like really diving into, if you're going to stretch yourself thin with a ton of different stuff, don't just half try in a new thing and then, I didn't like it, whatever. Because I don't really enjoy corporate stuff, but I've done enough full day 12-hour corporate shoots now that I'm like, okay, I don't really like shooting a video for a dental office, and I don't really like shooting for a tool that fixes a gun, even though I'm doing it for 1.5 days on Tuesday and Wednesday. But like, if you don't try and like give your full attention to that thing during that time, the short story, the gun tool, whatever, then you're just going to end up not liking anything. And that's not really, you're not really progressing in that sense, because you didn't give it a full, like your full effort and attention during that period.
Yeah. And I think that's one of the hurdles. I was just thinking of some of the hurdles that come, Because if you do anything just with half effort or not your full focus, one, you don't actually learn any new skills. Like, you don't push yourself, and part of doing different things is, and we talked about last week, just the idea of other art influence. Like, that's the same thing. If you're trying something new, even in your realm, and you're doing it with your full focus, you're going to learn something from that. But if you're just sitting there, daydreaming half through, okay, you're not working on your skill set. But the hurdle also is, to a degree, connected to saying no just because it is out of your comfort zone.
I don't like guns. I hate guns. I hate guns with a passion, but still, I was like, I'll try it.
Yeah, and it's not like you do need to know when to say no. I mean, that's a whole different kind. But when given the opportunities for things within your creative realm or opportunity, saying yes. I just read a quote about that we seem to shy away from saying yes to things that are actually good for us. That the things that would improve our lives. Like, we just like, that just seems a little too much work. Whether it's more exercise, it was, personal, improvement type of thing. But it's kind of interesting. It's like, you should eat more vegetable. Like, and sometimes that happens in our creative. It's like, well, I don't know if I should really write this short story and submit it and see what happens. It's saying yes to the things that will stretch us or help us improve, or even to a degree learning that you are not like, no, I don't like this, or this is not my cup of tea, because that's a lesson learned.
Yeah, I did a similar thing. It can be even something as small as just trying a new shot. So for girls basketball, I have the black sheet, whatever, the two lights. I put one light behind the sheet, so it would, because I just watch hype videos for inspiration to get cool stuff. Yeah. And it's obviously more of a rinky-dink setup than what I would like. I'm hoping to change that next year. But I put a light behind the sheet and then just had the color of the team as the light lighting the person. And I had my idea that was this, I know high schoolers, they're going to think it's dumb. But to have one side of the bracket, so I know it's these 4 teams, walk this way, backlit, and it's just the color. The other side of the bracket walk this way, and so the clip would go with the one team, so it looked like they're walking a Western duel type of thing. And the way I did it, I thought it worked kind of well, but you can tell it's just a sheet back there. I wanted it to be more silhouette style. Yeah. But I learned I was nervous about trying because I'm like, what if it doesn't work and I only have 10 minutes with these teams, and high schoolers can be brutal sometimes with, this is stupid. But I did it, and I learned good and bad. I learned a better way to do it and how I would do it in the future. And I learned, hey, it actually was a really cool, the actual clip was good. The execution could use some work, but I learned, okay, that can be something I can incorporate into future videos that are styled like that.
Yeah. So again, lesson learned. The other thing I thought about hurdle-wise progression or thinking, you have to worry or pay attention a little bit, and not dogging social media or things like that, but your likes or your feedback and stuff, I don't think is always a good indication of your progression. I think it can help and getting some, but we can feel like we've done really great work just because something kind of gets a lot of likes or and that doesn't mean you've actually progressed, because I'm learning hard way about that to a degree that the popular opinion of stuff doesn't always reflect the work involved for you. And we've touched upon that a little bit in different ways, but I think that could be a hurdle also of thinking, I'm doing really great work when No, it's popular, but that doesn't mean you've improved your skill set or that you're producing something that's going to last. We're in that midst of AI slop idea, and some stuff is, there's just some crazy stuff going on in the world, especially the literature world, with that. And it's like,
yeah, I mean, that resonates with a lot of people I see. They get one viral video and they stop their progress. They're like, oh, I've made it. This was all the mountaintop. This was all I needed to do. I don't need to learn anymore. I don't need to keep improving, doing any of that. And so their progress just stops. And then, like, if you're not moving, you're going backwards, that kind of thing. Then they wonder why they don't, like, their fame or their virality just starts going away because they don't keep improving, whether it's like dancing or whatever the TikToks I see. They just start falling off really quickly because they stop trying to progress and trying to get better as soon as they hit the one-hit wonder, the 15 seconds of fame, whatever.
And it's crazy that the popular opinion likes that thing, like, right then.
Tomorrow they might not. And definitely not in a week.
Yeah, it's just... so it's kind of a catch-all. Yes, getting likes and doing some of that, it shows that you've done some work, work and things. But yeah, what they like next week or totally different.
And then they'll turn on you just fast.
Yeah,
like, dude, start making some new material. Start like
I know, whatever. And that's the other part, because you don't take the negative feedback either as that you're not progressing or things along that line. The popular crowd or however that you interact or get. That's a trap for progression. How much work you put in. In your trusted circle to get feedback from, stuff like that. And we talked about what happens to our art once we let it go. Like, we honestly are not in control of it, but I think that's a trap of thinking about your progression. Using that as a big top 5 measurement key probably is not a wise thing to do.
Yeah. And that kind of ties into what we were talking about, the video game aspect of fake progression. The built-in rewards or built-in, like, XP or whatever gives you kind of the false idea of I am progressing, even though you might not be. One viral video or one big time exposure post, whatever, can be like real. Oh, I'm progressing out. Like, it's an idea of fake progression where you're not really. That is not a sign of progression. The likes, the level up, the anything. There's an article I read about just business progression and how if you have too many little tasks throughout your day, you'll think you got a lot done.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, kind of that same. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so if you, like, I want to brush my teeth before 8 a.m., get ready for the day by 8 a.m., and then I want to answer at least 3 emails, and then I want to, like, do that, whatever, take a couple pictures, and then you're like, wow, I've already gotten a lot done today. You haven't really gotten anything done. And I fall into a trap with this sometimes on things that aren't necessarily pushing the business forward, like money making. Like, I wanted to try this cool thing. I spent 2 hours working on it, whatever. But that really didn't. I mean, I was just kind of stalling, procrastinating is what I was doing, but it feels like my day is productive and I was progressing the business, and I wasn't. And that happens a lot in, like, just the wintertime when I'm sitting down. But, like, it's the idea of fake progression that doesn't actually produce any fruits from that labor or whatever it is.
Yeah. And I know, I was just like, the email thing alone, just answering emails, you feel like you got stuff off your list. But technically, most of that stuff is just not, does not lead to
I cleared my spam folder.
Yeah. Like, it's just that. There are those other, in all kinds of different whatever, I could just, I'm thinking the idea, sometimes I'm like, buy a new notebook, and I'm like, oh yeah, and I'm going to fill and it's like satisfies that need for just a second. I got my new notebook, I'm ready to go. I haven't done anything. All I did was think, ooh, I'm going to do that later, and end up not, like, writing or anything for a while. I do end up filling them, but it's that little hit of dopamine or whatever. Like, yep.
When I think I tied this into a lot of just kind of, wow, I think about life and society now is the instant gratification versus delayed gratification gap. And I did a science fair experiment on this with kindergarten preschoolers and marshmallows.
Yep.
Look up, there's a famous one, not ours.
Yeah.
Ours is pretty good though. But about, you put a kid in a room, you say you can have one marshmallow now or 2 or something in 5 minutes.
Yep.
And it's the instant gratification versus delayed. And I think in society, the gap between our tolerance to get from instant to delayed is getting just wider and wider and wider.
Well, and AI kicks into that really bad.
Because we don't want to, like, I saw a post that said, I'm tired of writing new prompts to interest me. Is there something that can write new prompts for you and tell AI to write prompts to interest? I'm like, that is like dystopian laziness right there. I don't know, but it's just, I want hits. I don't want to have to think about what I need to tell ChatGPT to write a short story for me to interest me. I want AI to write an AI prompt to have AI.
Yeah.
And we want all our information now. We have an informed opinion as soon as we read a headline. Nobody reads articles. They just read headlines. Nobody wants to watch 5-minute videos. They want to watch 5 1-minute videos. That's why, like, the Netflix binge watching, people will watch 3 hours of hour-long episodes, but won't watch a 3-hour movie.
Yeah.
And, like, just, I think that gap is widening. And so, to tie it back to the progression thing, we want to see progress quicker and quicker and quicker. And the reality is, one, like we talked about at the beginning, it's not linear. And sometimes there are going to be drops in that graph. And two, it's just, it takes a while. It just takes time to see progress, to actually execute, to get from A to B, and we just don't have a lot of patience for that for other people, but for ourselves too.
Yeah. And I think, though, we're also missing out, though, on the real joy of progression. Like, there is a certain feeling that you just can't really get until you've conquered the problem, you've solved the tech issue, dealing with that, or finishing and your edits, and like, that moment is something that is unique to the creative process, and we're not getting that. Like, if you, and they don't understand, they think, oh yeah, and then wonder to a degree whether the next video doesn't go, because it probably just gets, I just got to produce this end product instead of the ability to work within your mind and your heart and stuff to actually progress and have a richer, more deep feeling of accomplishment.
Yeah, there is a joy in critical thinking and solving a puzzle. I find it a lot when I'm color grading, and I'm still trying to learn a lot, but in gyms that are super yellow and the team is an orange jersey and the skin tones are orange, there's a joy in me trying to find how to blend those colors while still keeping like the Dante Bohauer look. And that would be lost if I just had like a preset and just slapped it on there. I was like, looks good. I do find joy in just kind of figuring out the puzzle of color grading or just the critical thinking with like anything on how to put together a bed. I don't enjoy that really. But like, progress is joyful. It is stressful, but like it can be just as joyful as watching your finished product do well or just enjoying finishing the product or whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Thanks for progressing through this episode with us. Yeah, thank you guys for watching as always. If you haven't checked out, we have over 100 episodes now of a library of topics. We have cool guests that we've had on, so you can check out those as well on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, wherever you get your podcasts. But yeah, thank you as always for watching. Thanks for the support. And yeah, we will see you guys in a couple weeks.